Why all of a sudden do I care about Kabuto? This episode is just another prime example where anime can outdo a manga, do a manga justice, go above and beyond. Because this episode really just makes you, again, like I said in the last week's episode, I was a little bit skeptical because I was like, they did last episode pretty good with the Kabuto flashback. What are they going to do this episode? Are they going to actually do it? And they did everything that I would have asked for when covering this material because, as some of you may know, I said in my last review, I did not like this part in the manga. I was not a fan of it. And coming into this, I was like, okay, what they're gonna do. And they fucking did it justice. First of all, they covered the entirety of Kabuto's flashback in this episode. So we got a little bit of last week's episode, and then we got the rest of it in this week's episode. So it's not like they're gonna drag it out, or we're gonna have to sit through it and bear with it and just be like, oh. So they did a good job right there already. Adapting it, putting it into a certain formula, like, okay, it needs to be this long. They did a good job. Just one full episode, straight through, okay, Kabuto out the door. But it also made you feel sympathetic for the character. It was just like, you feel a wide variety of emotions when you're watching this. On one hand, you're sympathetic. On another hand, you're like, yo, fuck the hidden leaf. The foundation, fuck them. Fuck him, straight up, just fuck him in the fucking ass, doggy style. Like, I couldn't fucking believe it when I was just like, it reminded me just how fucked up and how much of a fucking cunt bag Danzo really was. Danzo, like, yeah, he did everything in the greater good. In actuality, he's really what you would consider a true shinobi, to be quite honest with you, throwing away all sorts of sentiment and just doing everything that he feels needs to be done to protect the hidden leap. So in a sense, yeah, he's what a true shinobi should be. But as far as moral, just what's right and what's wrong, he's a fucking cunt. Like the ultimatums that he put people through. And, just this example, this episode is once again a big example, a prime example of the foundation and the corruption within the hidden leaf. You have the good side. You had, third Hokage. He was good. You had the people in there. But then there's like the elders and the foundation where everything is just like, get the fuck out of here. And I think with this episode, definitely it gives you just a grasp of what Kabuto ultimately is. And to be honest with you, at the end of it all, I feel as though he's just having an identity crisis. And he's had this identity crisis his entire life because he really just truly doesn't know who he is and what he wants to be in life and where he belongs. And I guess, everyone wants to feel like they belong to somewhere. And the way that they did everything, the foundation and how they fucking pretty much had him and his mother, his foster mother, surrogate mother, whatever you want to call it, just go at it with each other and tricking. It just shows the foundation and the hidden leaf has been corrupt for a long time as well. They're not the greatest, and I said it before, I'll say it again, they are not the greatest fucking village out of all of them. They're all fucked up villages. They all have their problems. So, that was, I guess, with this episode, mainly one of the things that I got out of it. Also, looking at Orochimaru and everything, it was something very interesting. Maybe it was just me, or maybe I mistook something, but it seemed as though he had like a piece of what looked like, I don't know, a fucking zetsu or something in one of the little like jars or some shit. And again, I could be mistaken, but like I was looking through his lab when, we went through those scenes, and it's like, Orochimaru is a very fucking interesting person. I'll put it like that because it's like, he could possibly be something more than what we even previously thought. To me, it just seems like he's something much grander than what we know of him. The animation, oh my god, I was like, yo, they knew that people weren't a big fan of this stuff in the manga, so like, we're gonna put all of it in one episode, we're gonna put the animation on fucking 10, the animation was fucking beautiful, especially the scenes with little Kabuto, the scenes with his mother, they did a great job with the animation, so it's like, you're making this, what felt like boredom and annoyance, a fucking beautiful, great masterpiece. I was like, good fucking job, Studio Perry. I give you fucking props. And while this episode lacked progression, because mainly it was just giving us the backstory of Kabuto, and then, progress the story and whatnot, it still, I feel as though handled itself very well. Very phenomenal job with this week's episode and just the way they handled the material. Looking around and seeing everything, it was just like, I feel as though the way Kishimoto did it, he connected everything. At first, it felt like a little bit weird, but then when you really look at it, everything made perfect sense, Pretty much from the start of when he went to the Akatsuki, Kabuto, he was already under Orochimaru's, not control, but he was already working with him full on, and it was like, fuck the Akatsuki. He was never really with them originally. He was with Orochimaru originally, well, when he started his shinobi ways. And just seeing Orochimaru, whatever he fucking wants, he gets. Like, he wanted Kabuto from the moment he saw that kid, and he's like, I'm gonna get that kid. But unfortunately, that wasn't the case because, you know, well, he never got Sasuke. Or did he? Overall, very well done episode. I'm gonna give this one 9 out of 10. It lacked progression as far as the story goes, but the animation was fucking on point. The character development was on point. Everything that they did with this episode, they handled it very well. Very great episode. And I'm surprised I'm saying that because, to be honest with you, I was dreading getting to this point in the anime because it just wasn't something I was a fan of. And the anime made me a fan of it, so fucking kudos to them and kudos to Kabuto. I feel for him. I understand him in a way now. I feel as though mainly it's just him trying to feel like he wants to know who he is and what's his place in this world. And I think to a certain extent we can all on some sort of level relate to that situation of just wanting to feel like we know who we are and be content with where we are and find our place in this world. So very deep stuff in a way if you really look at it a bit more closely. But let me know what you guys think. First of all, the whole thing with Kabuto's flashback. Do you think that this was done very well? Did you thought the episode was great? Do you think that they handled it in a better way than the manga? If you're a manga reader, or just overall, do you think that they did a great job with this episode? But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Thumbs up if you can't wait to get back to the fight, because next week it seems as though we're going to get back to the fight and we might have some big plays in the next episode. So that's going to be awesome as well. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.